So we just got back from an amazing cruise. This was our first Virgin Voyages cruise. It was a 5-night cruise out of Miami, and we went to Costa in Mexico and Bimini in the Bahamas. So in this video, I'm going to break down and review our experience on Virgin Voyages. Our cruise was out of Miami, so we got there a little early and we stayed in South Beach because it's only a 20-minute drive to get to the cruise terminal. On the morning of our cruise, we took an Uber over to the cruise terminal. As we arrived, they had curbside check-in for our larger bags, and then we walked into the terminal. You're going to see this big sign that says Ahoy Sailor, and then they've got all these different kiosks that you can go up to and get checked in. This check-in is where you're going to get your wristband that you're going to use to get into your room and to use for different services on the cruise. After we checked in, they had us wait outside in a line with our embarkation group, and then when we were ready, we went inside, we went up the escalators, and that's where you're going to go through security. You have whatever bags that you have with you, they go through the security scanners, and then you go to a private area to wait for your turn to board the boat. We didn't have to wait very long in this lobby area, and then they called our group number, and we were able to go through, scan the bracelets that they had given us, and then we were able to board the cruise ship. As we got onto the ship, there was this super energetic staff greeting us and helping us find our way. We decided to go to our room first so we could drop off our bags, and then from there we would explore the ship. We made our way to deck 11, and we're in room 38A, and this room has a balcony. So we're going to give you a quick tour of what the room looked like. As you walk in, the closet area is on the right, the bathroom's on the left, and then the bedroom area is straight ahead. This bed was really comfortable, and there's a large flat screen TV right there in front of you as well. At the far end of the room, there's a desk area and a chair, and then you can go out onto the balcony. From our balcony, we had a great view of Miami, and each balcony comes with these really comfortable hammocks. As you walk in from the balcony, on the left-hand side, there's a little mini fridge, and instead of bottled water, they have vases of water that they fill up every day, along with glass cups that you can use. So each room comes with a tablet, and this tablet runs everything in your room. So if you want to turn on the TV or if you want to dim the lights, they've got all these different modes. But when you first get there, there's going to be a safety first video that you'll need to watch. So you just pick up the tablet, click on that, and it'll play on your TV. The closet has a mirror, it has drawers, it has a safe. The bathrooms seem pretty standard for a cruise ship. They're small, but we had plenty of space to shower and use the bathroom. So after exploring our room, we set our stuff down, and now we were ready to start exploring the ship and to go over to the galley to get some food. We love the galley because it's got food that you can take on the go or you can eat there. Because this is an 18 and over cruise, we noticed all over the ship that you've got all these innuendos. For example, the grab and go quickies, snack it up, the tap that hot for hot drinks or tap that cold for cold drinks. And then there's plenty of seating inside, and you can see here we sat right by the sign for the galley. They have all sorts of food choices, but we chose to get a burger and fries. They had all sorts of desserts. They had the Let's Taco About It, the Noodle Around, and Hot Off the Press. So they had lots of different choices. You can eat inside, but they also have this outside area that you can take your food and eat. You've got these amazing views. So after eating, we decided to explore our ship, the Valiant Lady, to see all of the different amenities that were available. And from here you can see the main pool deck. This is where they have the send-off when we were about to leave. They have the pajama party here. They have the Scarlet Night here. So this is a main area. They've got plenty of towels for you, so you don't need to bring one from your room. You just pick one up, then you drop it off when you're done right here. You have the option to rent these private cabanas that have a bed that you can lounge in. They've got chairs, a refrigerator. We didn't rent one of these, but it looked like a cool option. Lots of benches. This is the other side looking at the basketball court. They've got some Twister. They've got this almost life-size set of chess that you can play. They've got another hot tub and shower on this side too. So you go up the stairs and this takes you to the track that goes around the ship. And this is also where the Virgin sign is, where a lot of people take their pictures. Then we went back down and there's a build and balance workout area. Then we went to the burn and bike. Because Virgin Voyages is an 18 and over cruise, all of these amenities are focused towards adults. As we were going around the corner, that's where we saw my favorite place on the boat, which is the fresh gelato ice cream, and it's called Lick Me Till I Scream. This gelato was so delicious. I have to admit that I was coming back to this place multiple times per day. And then it was time to leave Miami. Everybody assembles at the pool deck. They've got free drinks. They've got music playing. It's a really fun atmosphere. You can go up onto the higher decks and you can watch Miami as you're heading out to Mexico. After we left Miami and we were on the sea, we decided to go to the Red Room. So the Red Room is where all the shows are located, and we went to the Misbehave show first. After the show, we went to our reservation at the Mexican restaurant called Pink Agave. You can book your reservations before the cruise, or you can do it while on the cruise using the app. The food was delicious, and what I love about cruising is that you can order multiple desserts. After eating, we headed back to our room. We got changed for the PJ party. Normally this is on the pool deck, but because it was raining, they moved it to the Manor nightclub. This started at 11 p.m. As we first got to the Manor, it wasn't very crowded, but after about 30 minutes, the whole place was packed. This was super fun. We slept in on day 2 because it was a day at sea, and we had had a late night at the PJ party. We ate at the galley during the day, and we used the ship's amenities. And then in the evening, we went to the dual reality show in the Red Room. We really enjoyed this show. It is first come, first serve in the Red Room, so make sure you get there early. And then for dinner, we ate at the Gun Bay Korean Barbecue Restaurant. This food was delicious, and if you love seafood, you definitely want to make a reservation for Gun Bay. After eating, we hung out with some friends, but we wanted to go to bed early because the next day we were going to be in Costa Maya, Mexico. So on day 3, we woke up and got some breakfast, and the ship was just pulling into Costa Maya, Mexico. Once we were ready to get off the ship, we got in line, and then you'll go past this board that shows you that you're at Costa Maya, and then you'll get to a station where you scan your wristband. This lets them know that you're getting off the ship. We were really excited because we had booked an excursion to go see the Lagoon of 7 Colors. It's called the Bacalar Lagoon. We booked it through Shore Excursions Group because they do really small groups. So Costa Maya is located on the southeastern side of Mexico on the border with Belize. It's in the state of Quintana Roo. So as our cruise ship docked at the port of Costa Maya, we got off the boat and then we walked this really long pier to get to the actual port. So as you get to the entrance of the Costa Maya port, to the left you can see the actual port, and it looks like an old Mayan village. And then as we walked in, right in the middle, you have a bunch of signs. So on the right-hand side, you'll see the green sign that says pre-booked tours. This is only for tours that you book through the cruise ship. So we actually went there first, found that out, and then realized that because we were being hosted by Shore Excursions Group, which is a third party, we would need to actually leave the port area, and they would be waiting for us right outside of the port. So as you come into the port entrance, you go through some shopping, you'll walk around, you'll see some flamingos, some swimming pools, and then you're gonna see some signs that says port exit. That's where you wanna go for a third-party excursion that's not hosted by the cruise ship. So we followed the signs until we got to this big parking lot with a roundabout. Across the parking lot, you'll see a guard gate. That's where you need to walk towards. And once you get to that guard gate, you'll cross the crosswalk. And in the middle, between the two lanes of traffic, there's a sidewalk that you'll take down to the next guard gate. And then that's where all the third-party excursion companies are waiting. And that's where Shore Excursions Group was waiting for us with our name on a sign. We met up with our group, we got in the van, and we headed out. So our driver turned into Papitos, which is a local marina in Bacalar. That's where our pontoon boat was located. And this is a great location because they've got bathrooms, they've got a store, they've got a restaurant. So we were all able to use the bathroom, and then we headed over to the dock area to get onto our assigned pontoon boat. One of the cool things about this excursion is that they bring a whole thing of snacks and drinks, so there's plenty for you while you're out there exploring. So once we were loaded up and on our pontoon boat, we headed to the right or south to our first cenote. And you can see why they call this the lake or the lagoon of seven colors, from turquoise to blues to greens. And then as you pull up to Cenote Negro, negro means black in Spanish, and you can see why they call this cenote that. It drops off 250 feet deep. Our guide took us all around, and you can see that there's houses that back right up to this cenote. And after exploring there, then we headed a little farther south over to Cenote Esmeralda. So this one is about 229 feet deep. And along the way, you see all these amazing rentals and places that people can stay. And the water's super shallow there. It's about waist deep. One of the interesting things about this lake or lagoon is that all this water's fresh. It's all coming from the cenotes from underground. So after exploring Cenote Esmeralda, we headed over to this shallow area. We were able to get out of the pontoon boat and swim and explore. So after hanging out at Cenote Esmeralda, we decided to get in the boat and go up to the Pirates Channel. So as we pulled up to the Pirates Channel, you can see this is a really popular place. Pontoon boats are able to pull right in. The water's about waist deep. There's an old building or structure there that was going to be a restaurant, but now it's abandoned. You can jump off of it into the water. You see Julie walking out. It's about waist deep. So first we explored in the pontoon boat, then we anchored and we got out and we were able to swim around and explore on our own. So we hung out and swam for about 40 minutes at the Pirates Channel. And then when we were done, we all got back into the pontoon boat. And then we headed straight across the channel back to Papitos. So the pontoon boat anchored, we all got off the boat. The van was waiting for us in the parking lot. So we headed up to the van. We had all worked up an appetite. And so now was time to go out to eat at El Taco Loco. El Taco Loco is an authentic Mexican restaurant that's got amazing fish tacos and all sorts of Mexican food. The great part was that this entire meal was included in the excursion too. So after eating this delicious meal, we all hopped back in the van and we made the trip back to the port of Costa Maya. As we got back to the port, we were able to walk around, do some shopping, watch the flamingos, and then we walked along the pier back to our cruise ship. That night we had reservations to eat at the Wake Steak and Seafood restaurant. This food was delicious and we'd highly recommend eating at the Wake. Then we headed back to our room and we put on our red outfits for Scarlet Night. The weather was great, so we were able to party on the pool deck, and we had a great time dancing to the music and hanging out with our friends. After partying all night, we were excited for day 4. It was a day at sea, so we were able to sleep in. We enjoyed these views. We had a great time enjoying the amenities of the ship. And then in the evening, we went to the Red Room and we went to the Around the World Diva show. And after the show, we had reservations at Extra Virgin, which is the Italian restaurant on the ship. This food was delicious. After eating, we went back to our room, we got a good night's sleep, and then on day 5, we woke up as we were entering North Bimini in the Bahamas. The private beach club at Bimini is included with the cruise, but we also wanted to see the other beaches on North Bimini, so we ended up renting a golf cart and hitting those beaches and the beach club at Bimini. So after getting off the cruise ship, we walked about a half a mile from the cruise port to Suenjoy's golf cart rentals, and we paid cash for a golf cart. When you get off the ship, you have the choice of taking this free tram, or you can just walk there. We decided to walk there because we wanted to take in these beautiful views. On the right-hand side towards the end of the bridge is the Bimini Public Beach. We're actually going to hit this beach last because we wanted to make sure we got our golf cart rented and we wanted to hit the southern beaches first. As you cross the bridge, you'll see signs on the sidewalk pointing you in the right direction to exit the port. This is the view as you leave the port. You'll see the arch, and then you'll cross the street over to Kayak Beach. At Kayak Beach, you'll veer to the left and you'll follow that road over to Suenjoy's. You'll get to this roundabout with all these rentals. You'll see the Suenjoy sign, and then you'll see a blue building that says Suenjoy's.
140. 120. Those ones over there 180.
From Suenjoy's Golf Cart Rentals, it's a 2.2 mile drive down to Radio Beach. So we went ahead and rented our golf cart, and this is what the drive looks like down to Radio Beach. You'll notice that in the Bahamas, you drive on the left side of the road. You'll pass Kayak Beach again on the left, and you'll know you're going the right way when you go through this arch to the southern end of North Bimini. As you get to Radio Beach, you're going to pass these colorful buildings, and then you'll see the sign for Radio Beach. So as we explored Radio Beach, we found anywhere that they had rock outcroppings, these were the best places to snorkel. So we locked up our golf cart, and then we headed over to see what was available at Radio Beach. So there's no lifeguards on duty here, and as you walk over, you'll see that they have a few different food stores. And if you want to rent beach chairs or beach umbrellas, it was $40 for 2 beach chairs and $80 for all 3. We had brought our towels, so we opted not to rent those, and we just laid out our towels and went snorkeling. So as we got in the water to snorkel, we saw all sorts of little fish. We did notice that there are some jellyfish here, but they were small enough that they were easy to navigate around, and we had a great time snorkeling here. After snorkeling, we got out of the water and we decided to take a walk down Radio Beach. Radio Beach was amazing. After we were done snorkeling and exploring, we decided to get into our golf cart and head down to the next beach. So we drove the 0.4 miles from Radio Beach to the North Bimini shipwreck and southernmost beach. As you get to the end of the road, the paved road turns into a dirt road. There's a cemetery on the right. Then you're going to drive this road through a grove of trees and park your golf cart there. You'll see the cemetery. As you're driving into the grove of trees, on the right-hand side, you have the option to drive up there and that'll take you directly to the shipwreck. But the best snorkeling is at the end. So we went ahead and drove to the end, and this is where we parked and then walked out on the beach to do some snorkeling. As you walk out of the grove of trees, this is where we got in. We snorkeled around the southern tip. There's all these rocks and there's a lot of fish around here. Then we snorkeled back, we got out, and then that's where you walk up to the shipwreck. So this is what it looks like as you walk out onto the beach. And this sandy entrance is where we got in to start snorkeling. After snorkeling, we got out in the same spot, and then we walked north along the beach heading towards the shipwreck. Because the shipwreck is surrounded by rocks, we got in at this little cove and then we snorkeled up to the shipwreck. We had such a fun time snorkeling at the Bimini shipwreck and the southernmost beach. This by far was our favorite place to snorkel on all of Bimini. Once we were done snorkeling and hanging out at the beach, we got back into our golf cart and then we drove the 3.4 miles up to the northernmost beach on northern Bimini. On Google Maps, there was no name for this beach, but because of its location, we're calling it Northern Bimini Beach. You're going to go through this entrance area, and then you're going to come up on the entrance of the beach club at Bimini, or the Resorts World Bimini Beach entrance. So you're going to go past this, you're going to go around a curve, and then that's where you'll get to Northern Bimini Beach. So you go around this roundabout, and then we parked on the very northern end of Northern Bimini Beach. We had an amazing time swimming and hanging out at Northern Bimini Beach. Once we were done, we hopped into our golf cart and we only had to drive 1/10 of a mile over to the beach club at Bimini. They've got a designated parking area for golf carts, and we had strategically planned this so we could use the bathroom, so we could eat and relax at this amazing resort. This resort includes a beautiful beach, beach umbrellas, beach chairs, 2 pools, multiple bars, restaurants with all-you-can-eat food. Overall, just an amazing resort. So we pulled into the golf cart parking lot, we found a space, we locked up our golf cart, and then in the middle of the parking lot, there's a trail that takes you to the resort. As you walk up, you'll see the pickup and drop-off spot for the free tram, and then when you walk into the right, there's your first bar right there that you can get something to drink. As we walked past that, we saw that they've got changing cabanas, so you can change out of your regular clothes into your bathing suit, or if you're wet and you wanted to change into some dry clothes, they've got those facilities there. They've got a wood trail system that goes through the resort, and they've got a lot of signs so you can easily find where you're going. Then we walked over to the restaurant on the southern end. They call the restaurants Beach Eats. So we went to Beach Eats South. You can see they have fountain drinks, and then you walk up and they've got a menu that you can choose from and you can order whatever you want. Once you get your food, then you can walk over to one of the tables. They have these fans that keep the flies away, and the food was delicious. On the northern end of the resort, they've got the DJ set up, so they've got music going and just a super fun atmosphere in the pool. So we decided to explore the rest of the resort, and this is what it looks like. We had an amazing time at the beach club at Bimini. We were able to eat delicious food and drinks. We were able to go swimming in the pools, lay out at the beach, go swimming in the ocean, hanging out with friends. Overall, this was an amazing experience. So we still had about 2 hours before the cruise ship was going to leave, so we decided to head back and to return our golf cart to Sue and Joy's Golf Cart Rentals. This was a 0.9 mile drive back. So after returning our golf cart, then we walked over to Kayak Beach. This is only 1/10 of a mile, so it's a really short walk, and we were able to explore this small little beach. As we got closer to the water, we noticed that there were a lot of jet skis, a lot of kayaks, canoes, and because of all these watercrafts, we didn't do any snorkeling at Kayak Beach. After exploring Kayak Beach, we walked the 1/10 of a mile over to the Bimini public beach. We had an amazing time snorkeling here, exploring and laying out. We walked over and they've got this old boat that's been repurposed as a food and bar area. And then we walked over to the stand to see how much the beach chair rentals are. How much are the rentals here?
2 chairs, 1 umbrella is 60. Then we have 1 chair, 1 umbrella, 45.
Okay. We walked over to the bridge area and we saw this sign that the cruise ship guests are only allowed on this side of the beach. The other side is private. So we laid out our towels on this side of the beach and we decided to explore and then get in the water and go snorkeling underneath the bridge. We had an amazing time snorkeling here. After we were done, we got out and we just hung out at the beach until it was time to get back onto the cruise ship. We had an amazing day at Bimini, and then when we got back on the ship, we had a reservation to eat at Razzle Dazzle. This is an American food restaurant. Not sure what happened to my footage on this one, but this restaurant was delicious. And then we went to bed and prepared for day 6, which was our debarkation back in Miami. So debarkation is from 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And as we got off the cruise, we got our luggage and then we headed back to South Beach for a few more days before heading home. Overall, we had an amazing time on Virgin Voyages. Number 1, we absolutely loved the destinations that we went to. Going to Costa, Mexico and Bimini in the Bahamas was phenomenal. Number 2, we loved the room on the ship with the balcony and with the hammock. The bed was really comfortable. Number 3, we loved the festivities on the boat with the pajama party, with Scarlet Night, with all the shows that you could go to. Number 4 is that we got to go to a different restaurant each night and the food was amazing. And lastly, we loved that this was an 18 and over cruise and everything was catered to adults. So with those 5 pros, you might be wondering what are the cons of going on a Virgin Voyages cruise? So really I only had 2 cons to this cruise, and it's really not a Virgin Voyages gripe, but I'm just not a big fan of days at sea. I would rather be hitting a port every day, but I understand that it does take time to get to each destination. And the second con would just be the schedule. On a lot of other cruise ships, every day you get an itinerary of all the things happening on the boat. With Virgin Voyages, you've got to dive into the app. And sometimes we miss things just because we didn't really know where to look or we forgot to look. So not really a big gripe. As long as you prepare in advance, you'll be able to hit everything. But overall, we absolutely loved our Virgin Voyages cruise. This was our first one. We definitely do another one. And this wraps up our review of our Virgin Voyages 5-night cruise out of Miami to Costa, Mexico and Bimini in the Bahamas.